Okay, well, happy Sunday morning to you all. Today is October the 17th, 16th, 17th? I think it's 16th, I can't recall. I'm headed out for a work commute this morning. One of my customers was hit by ransomware on Friday morning due to an email or an unpatched server, and it got everything on their network. So we're doing a full remediation, full rebuild. We have backups, so it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely going to be a long process of getting this going. Their server is so corrupted that we couldn't really clean in place. They've got Microsoft Hyper-V, and basically everything got locked up. The virtual machines themselves didn't get encrypted, but the contents within them did. Domain controller got messed up, everything got messed up, so it's a full rebuild, and we couldn't rebuild in place because of that problem. Essentially, if your domain control is corrupt, then you're looking at propagating the bug in the next iteration after the cleanup. So I had to get another server for them, a new server, and we're building in parallel. So this is what we did yesterday. I set up the new Hyper-V 2019 server and started building the shell VMs to import data into. I'm going to carefully restore their domain controller into the environment today, kind of cordon that thing off in a sandbox, put another domain controller in there with it just so I can replicate the data out of the original one and demote the corrupted controller and flush it, put it in the 76 bin shredder. So anyway, it's going to be a long day, and I feel a little bad because today is my buddy Tom. He's doing a burial at sea celebration for his late wife, and I'm not going to be able to make it down there to Galveston, I don't think. I'm hoping I can break free for a little while, maybe just ride down there for a couple of hours and go do the ceremony itself, and then come back and finish doing this, because this customer needs to be up and running, at least in limited capacity, for tomorrow morning, where they can kind of get back to business. They lost a whole day Friday, and downtime is very, very costly. This is a import-export company that does a lot of industrial plumbing and valves and stuff like that. So anyway, see if I can get this sorted, get them back up and running. I mean, we're not ready to commit hara-kiri because we do have the data. It's just the downtime of rebuilding the environment in a clean and sane fashion, to where we know that they can get on about their business. So we'll get it done. We'll make it happen. Anyway, I decided to take the bike this morning because the weather is just phenomenal here in Houston the last few days. We had a real gusty cold front blow through. We had some rain 2 days ago, and it's just been windy AF for the last several days. I'm talking 20 miles an hour steady, which is pretty high for Houston. I mean, we're normally windy here, but that's really windy. And the wind kind of died out middle of yesterday afternoon, and this morning it's a brisk 52 degrees, and the humidity is down to almost nothing. I think last night I looked at the weather forecast and it said 23% humidity. That never happens in Houston. Oh my God, it's crazy down here. It's so humid, sitting on the Gulf Coast. But, it's just marvelous out here. A little nippy for riding this morning, but I've got my overshell on this jacket to keep the wind from freeze drying me. 52 degrees doesn't sound very cold, but you get up to 75, 80 miles an hour on the freeway and it gets chilly quick. So I'm going to head down to the south side of the Beltway and 610 area where this customer site is. I need to stop and get some breakfast on the way because I'm hungry, and don't know what that's going to be. Probably going to be fast food, McNasty's or something. I don't know. And I'm thinking about doing a live stream while I'm sitting there bored out of my mind. I'd like to pick pick the brains of my viewers and see kind of what everybody's preferences are on the way that I'm formatting some of the newer videos. I've got a plan in my head, but I don't really know how I'm going to execute it, with, you know, short little intro teasers and like a teaser reel of the whole series for the Cannonball and things like that. The main thing that I want to gauge interest on, I'll put some polls out in addition to the live videos that I'm going to do. I want to gauge interest on how people feel about long videos versus short, compressed, not compressed, music, no music, just different things. I did that on my, what was it, the Super Cubs in the Ozarks series, and overwhelmingly the answer to my question, long versus short, on the full ride day, where we did, 260 miles or something in twisties, I was asking, short or long, and I think it was like 65% or 70% of everybody said long. They wanted the full unedited, hit us with it. So that's what I did. I just did very minimal editing. I did minimal audio processing, just to kind of normalize stuff out, and it was like a 3.5 hour video. It was crazy. It hasn't gotten a lot of views, but that's more of the real fan kind of video where people enjoy the content. They want to watch and just put it in the background, and it's kind of cathartic that way. They can go for the ride without getting out of the convenience of their warm homes. So I get it. That's why I share this stuff. Some people can't ride, whether it's health or weather or location or whatever's going on, and they really enjoy the experience of being out riding. So I try to, all the video that I do, the chin mount on the camera, it's a little lower than my eyes, of course, but it's central, so it's point of view riding, kind of bring you along for the experience. It's not smell-o-vision, so you don't get the smells of the road, the smell of hot tar and decomposing animals over in the drainage ditches and cagers smoking pot. But trying to do the best I can. Just sharing the fun of riding. I'm trying to finish chewing up my video editing queue, all the stuff that's been sitting there waiting forever. I've gotten so behind with a lot of my vlogs, like this one in particular. I'm going to try to post today, make it current, so it doesn't get lost and become irrelevant. It's all irrelevant, but at least it won't be stale. So many of my vlogs that I was talking about projects and upgrades and things that I was doing to the bikes for big road trips and stuff like that, they're so far behind now, it's hard to go back on those, and people are like, well, wait, you already did that. What are you talking about that now for? So I've had to flush a lot of those, but what I'm chewing through now are my ride series videos where it was a destination event, moto camping, or I went somewhere and hung out with a bunch of people. Those are the ones I'm trying to get out. So I'm finishing up my Cotton Bowl Speedway, where Adrian, Josh, Neil, and I went to the Cotton Bowl Speedway in Page, Texas, moto camp there for 4 days, watched the World of Outlaws go in circles and throw dirt everywhere. That was a lot of fun. So I've got 3 videos into that series. I've probably got 2 more to finish it out. I'm trying to keep the length of them down to about 30 to 40 minutes, just so they're not excessively long. I will probably produce a 3D video, or sorry, 360 video, not 3D, 360 video of the whole camp setup. I set up my Max 360 on a tripod while we were unpacking the bikes and setting up camp. It's about 27 minutes long, something like that. And it's going to take a long time to encode that puppy. Usually I just set those on encode and let them run, and it takes, for something that long, it's probably going to be a full day. And I've got a fast computer, but it'll be probably 17 to 20 hours worth of code to finish that up. And then I'll upload that. Somebody can put it on their phone and watch it and spin the video around and kind of look at what's going on. The audio is okay, it's not great. It's the built-in microphones on the max 360, so you get a lot of ambient, but you don't really get our voices that much. So anyway, that should round out the series for the Cotton Bowl. And then one teaser, I think I mentioned it before, is I took my Trail 125, the CT 125, out on the Cotton Bowl track, out on the banked oval, and ran it around there for a few laps. We took all 3 bikes out there, or 4 bikes, I guess, all the scooters and the Super Cubs and the Trail Cub out there. But I took a couple of laps just solo to try to set a lap record. That was fun. Really, really hard to do with those tires and with 45 pounds of crap up high on the back rack. Oh my God, it was like a lasagna noodle just doing this the whole time around that track. I thought I was going to eat it a couple of times. Swinging into the back corner 4, I guess it is, and the front end starts pushing, and then the back does this, and you're like, oh, wait, don't break it, I gotta ride this home. That was fun though. So that'll be that series. Then I'm going to be focusing my efforts in getting my Scooter Cannonball series edited and published. I've done the first 2 videos in that series to kind of whet everybody's appetite for being on the road on the Cubs and kind of what that looks like and feels like. And it's going to kick into high gear in about 2 episodes from now. The next episode is going to be getting up to Maine and sitting around in the rain in the hotels and kind of the prep and the lead up to the Cannonball. And then I'll start with Cannonball day 1, and we'll crush it on through to day 10 of that. And then we had 5 or 6 days of riding to get back to Texas that was really good as well. So I'm gonna publish those, and those are the ones that I'm kind of wanting everybody's input on, see what format everyone prefers, short, long, compressed, not compressed, music, no music, that sort of thing. Because all those little decisions, they take time to plan out and storyboard in the editing workflow. And I'm also intending to do a couple of formats. I'm going to do more full-length versions for subscribers and members of the channel, and then shorter, quicker, maybe less complete videos for just the general public. And that way I can give some behind-the-scenes stuff and maybe a little bit more personality for the people that really want to watch the content, instead of just putting it out there for everybody that may or may not really be interested, and YouTube just kind of forces it down their throat. Lunchbox happening. People closing in on all sides of me, being aggressive, so I'm going to get out of that. No lunchbox for me, thank you very little. Not going to be the metal and a meat, or the meat in a metal sandwich. Butt too back there. I was going 75. Everybody's just clobbering over me. These corners, I've noticed my Rebel tends to wallow a little bit. Fast highway sweepers like this at 75, 80 miles an hour. And I'm doing it just butter on the 500 here, and I think most of it's coming from the large front wheel and the rear suspension of the Rebel being a little bit underdamped. So I'm anxious to get the rear shocks replaced on that thing and put a steering damper on it, and I think it's going to drastically change the personality of that bike. I really enjoy the Rebel, don't get me wrong. It does have a few quirks that I want to address for my purposes. I love this weather. God, it's gorgeous. take a ride across Texas, edge to edge today if I could. I haven't done a state ride in a long time. Texas is friggin' huge, man. I'll throw the stats up here on the screen. If you want to go edge to edge in Texas, either north-south or east-west, it's massive. I mean, you're talking about an all-day kind of a ride there. 780 miles or something like that. Don't quote me on the number. Look at those specs. It's just friggin' huge, man. You're looking at 8 to 10 hours if you go to the longest points. Once you include traffic and fuel stops and food stops and all that, man, it's a full day. I've done it several times, but not lately. I haven't been riding this 500X much since I got some of my other toys. Every time I don't ride this bike for a while and I get back on it, I realize how much I miss it. I love this machine. Love it. Absolutely fantastic. I can never say enough good things about this bike. The new NT1100. We should have some concrete news about that in late October, about a week, 2 weeks from now. I think it's October 22nd or 25th, something like that. We're going to hear some announcements from Honda, and then EICMA happens, and we should have some more information to whet our appetites. So basically the NT1100 is going to be upright sport touring chassis, very similar to this as far as the layout. And this is a 2014 CB500X, so it's not the one with the big 19-inch front wheel. This is the 17 and 17. I prefer this actually, but anyway, that's another story. So it's going to be more of an upright sport touring chassis, kind of along these ergonomics and this look, but it's going to have the Africa Twin 1100 motor in there. Oh yeah, boy! That's going to be a game changer. And as soon as it's announced, you damn Skippy, I'm going over and putting my deposit on one. Because it's basically going to be this bike with much better suspension, fully adjustable, I would assume, and over double the horsepower and the torque. It'll be fantastic. Great. What's not to like? Because this thing is just phenomenal as a road bike, a touring bike, commuter, anything you want it to do. It's not great off-road. You got to do quite a few upgrades to these things to make them good off-road. You need a bash plate, taller suspension springs, tires. You need to put them on a diet if you can, because, you know, 420-pound bike, before you start adding all that extra shit to it, you end up with a 450, 460-pound dirt bike. That's not that much fun. They can do it, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of people that do it. Oregon Motorcycle or Oregon Motorcycling, I'll link it here. He goes out and beats the living piss out of his 500X all the time. He's got the newer one with the larger front wheel, and I was just looking through his channel yesterday, and I missed a live stream that he did by like 5 minutes. He put that thing full send and managed to high center that monkey on some rocks, or he did something, but he broke his oil pan and just pissed all of his oil out on the ground. That's no good. That's a trailer at home kind of event right there. He doesn't have a bash plate on there, so I guarantee he's going to be investing in one of those pronto. Going to need an oil pan, going to need bash plate, probably think about investing in some other armor underneath that thing. So anyway, so yeah, he's got, I think they look like TKC tires on that thing, big block knobbies, so he definitely off-roads it and does a bunch of dual sport stuff, beats the hell out of it. So the 500X can do it, there's no doubt. It's just, I don't think it's as well suited to that shore as other bikes that are a little bit smaller, way less, or definitely have you know, different horsepower to weight ratios, because this one, it does much better as a road bike. Okay, where's breakfast this morning? Where is breakfast? I'm not intimately familiar with this particular part of town. Oh crap, there's Burger King. Here's Burger Stink. I'm going in there. Ooh, burger stink breakfast. All right. 2 for $6 mix and match. I wonder if that applies to breakfast. If it does, sold. Let's go find out. What do we have? Breakfast. We got burritos. The car sandwich isn't bad. Little fatty, greasy. I don't really need the meal because I don't want to take a coffee on the bike. It's not going to work out too well. I could do the ultimate platter. I'm pretty hungry, so I think it's going to be ultimate platter and some biscuits. Double mix and match. Oh, double mix and match looks like my win. I don't need pancakes. If anybody ever comes up to take my order, that is. Okay. A couple of big fat old biscuits in there. That should solve my problems. Well, at least the hunger problems anyway. Not so much for the IT stuff. Gotta brew up some coffee over there when I get there, if it's not already brewed, and see what kind of damage I can do to fix this clobbered network. Okay, well, happy Sunday evening to you all. Finished the majority of the work here. I think he's waiting on me. I'm taking all my time here suiting up. We finished the majority of the work here. I reinstalled, rebuilt a whole bunch of servers, virtual infrastructure, got it all running, and restored all the data, and sandboxed it, cleaned it, all that, and got them up and running for tomorrow morning, we think. So still have to be in here early tomorrow morning to get the users reacclimated to the new environment, because they're going to be missing their personal settings. You know, desktop profile stuff is going to be all goofed up. Stuff to do the printers, a few line of business apps, things like that. Client programs that need to be reinstalled. That unfortunately we don't have the source files of the documentation on how to install them. So the vendors are going to be involved tomorrow morning to help get that stuff sorted out. Oh, he must know a secret way out of here. Well, yeah, so I'm back on the road. Left my house at barely dawn this morning, and I'm leaving well after dark. Moon is way up in the sky. You probably can't see it. It's 8:30 or so right now. I don't even know what the time is. That clock is definitely not right. So, on the road. I did live stream today. Wasn't anything fancy or professional. It was just kind of a chat and QA session with members and subscribers to the channel, people that are curious about what goes on, and we chatted about all kinds of stuff, you know, different projects and things on the channel. Howard Raines jumped in. Howard is the editor, producer of the Scooter Zine publication, and he had reached out to me months ago about this Cannonball run. I think it was even before I did the Cannonball, so it was way back, like early this year, March or something like that. And I had said that I'd, you know, do an article or, you know, write some stuff and have him include that in his publications, and I just got busy. I feel like such a heel. And he reached out to me several times asking, you know, hey, are you gonna be able to contribute? And I kept saying, yeah, I'm gonna try to get around to it, and just never could get to it. So he's already made his publication about the Cannonball run, and that's cool. So I need to read that and follow up on it and see how that turned out, because there were a lot of the 21 Cannonball run alumni that apparently wrote in and contributed to that, so that's awesome. As for my live stream, I was really just kind of putting feelers out there, or hoping to keep it on track, and of course I didn't stay on track. I was hoping to get some feedback on what people preferred to see as far as the content on the Scooter Cannonball Run series, short format, long format, you know, just different information. And People are kind of split down the middle so far, it seems like. We've got a couple that say long, a couple that say short, so I'll just play it by ear. I'll put some polls up on YouTube with the content ideas and see how it votes out, see what people are interested in, and I'll churn them up, see how it goes. I've been waiting to see how the GoPro 10 reviews shake out regarding the overheating issues and stuff like that some people mentioned. I don't know if that's really an issue or if it's just a kind of an isolated use case problem. The few people that were saying that it was overheating, I think that might have been debunked a little bit. So I don't know, any of you out there that have a GoPro 10 already, let me know how you've been getting along with it, if it has performance issues, overheating, short battery life, whatever. I'm really thinking of getting one for the motovlogging and some of the stuff that I do, because it's supposed to have much better low light recording capabilities than the GoPro 7 and 8. I'm not sure about the differences between the 9 and the 10, but yeah, anyway. The 7 that I'm using right now is not real great in low light, so I'll be interested to see how that works as an upgrade. Now, the one thing that I'm not real happy about as far as upgrading to the 9 to the 10 is, or even the 8 for that matter, is you have to have the media mod in order to use an external microphone. So that's annoying because it really increases the size of the camera body and the weight, obviously. You know, having more stuff hanging off of the front of your helmet is not good. Look at these Spy Hunter wheels, give me a break. That's why I've stayed with the Hero 7 for as long as I have, because it's small, it's relatively lightweight. It's just not as cantankerous as the newer body style that the 8 and the 9 have. I really don't like the 8. That was a giant waste of time, I think. I bought it thinking it was going to be great, but I don't know. Battery issues, overheating issues, all the negatives that the 7 has, and then some. Worse, you know, because you can't change out lenses, you can't change out ND filters, any of that. If you crack your front glass, you're stuck sending it into repair. You can't do it yourself. All right, people, knock it off. People love doing that here in Houston. They'll all climb up around you and stick right on you. They'll crowd you, they'll get within one car length of you at 75, 80 miles an hour, and then everybody slows down. It's like a giant magnet ball game. Piss off. On a motorcycle, you get the hell away from that if you want to stay upright, because those idiots are going to be on their phones, changing lanes into you. It's just a matter of seconds. I smell Italian food. Somebody's cooking over here. Okay, this guy's really cautious. Ooh, 23 miles an hour. Oh, 25, I lied. Nope. 24. Alrighty then. Well, he's really afraid of cornering that thing on the door handles, isn't he? 20. Oh, doing good, man. You worried about stressing those sidewalls there, fella? Oh, this guy's nice. He slowed down to let us in. Come on, people, break it up. The guy I just passed in that little Mazda had one of those rear view monitor mirrors, and he was watching a movie on it. What a dick. Oh, man. I love the lights that I have on this 500X. The beam pattern on the lobe is pretty good by itself. I've got just the LED replacement in here. It's not a projector housing or anything. I just got a good LED in here. But then I've got these dual, I think they're 5 watt, they might be 10 watt flood pattern lights on the outside that are keyed in with the low beam. And then on the high beam, I can't flip it up right now because I got somebody coming on at me that I will definitely blind. The high beam, I have 2 identical lamps. Here we go. Oh, there we go. There's bright. But they're spot beam, and they reach out a whole lot further. So this thing is daylight. When I crank up the high beams on this thing, I can see everything all the way out about, I don't know, 400 yards, 500 yards. Booyah, daylight. Oh, yeah, we got more people. Need to clean out my switch on this thing again. It's getting sticky. There we go. These people won't be blinded too bad. It's behind them. Man, look at that high beam on this thing. They reach way out there. I've been able to see deer and even, you know, small animals crossing the road, especially if they turn and look, you know, they get the green reflection off the back of their eyes. I've been able to see them a quarter mile out with these high beams and the driving lights that I got on here. Plenty of time to react. I keep mentally salivating over what the NT1100 might be like, because it's going to be roughly these ergonomics right here that I've got on this bike, but with much better suspension and over double the horsepower and torque. It's just going to be a hoot to ride. And what I've noticed is the Rebel 1100 actually gets pretty decent fuel economy if you keep your wrist out of it. You know, if you keep your speeds down under 70, let's say. It does quite well for having the aerodynamics of a brick. So a slightly better touring chassis, kind of along these lines, with a little bit better aerodynamics, should be pretty efficient. I'm guessing it's going to get mid-50s on the fuel economy, so 55 miles per gallon US, somewhere in that ballpark. Damn, who opened the gate? Let all the cows out. Yeah, I mean, I was able to get 53 on my Rebel coming back from Maryland if I kept the speeds down around 65 to 70. So, you know, same speeds with a more efficient aerodynamics to it should give you easily mid-50s. It's pretty good, man. It's not bad at all. I just hope they give it a large enough fuel tank for touring. You know, 4.5, 5 gallons, something like that. Let it reach out at least 200 miles between fills. That would be good. So, Anyway, I have arrived. Thanks for tagging along, everybody, and I will catch you for the next one. I'm going to be going back to that customer site first thing in the morning, but I don't know if I'll vlog that or not. I'm going to have to get there and keep my wits about me, so we'll see. I bid you all farewell, and see you next time. Thanks.